The station was erected in 1911 and has seen many changes throughout the years. But the one thing that hasn't changed is the dedication and commitment of the men and women who have served within these walls. Although it is a grand old station, it is the firefighters that have made it what it is. It's the blood, sweat, and tears that the men and women of the Grand Rapids Fire Department have shed within the walls and also in the community to serve our citizens. And we are here to celebrate that as well today. I wish to thank all of you and your families for the sacrifices that you have made to make this the great organization that it is today. To the future firefighters that will work within these walls, I say the standard has been set high, and it will be up to you to carry it into even greater heights. As the 23rd Fire Chief, yes, the 23rd Fire Chief of the Grand Rapids Fire Department, it is my honor to be here with you today on this special occasion and this milestone of the station. And I just want to recognize all the firefighters, past, present, and future, that are here today. And I'm honored to be here to be with you. So thank you.
Chief Knapp mentioned that there are things that have stayed the same and things that have changed. One of the things that has not changed is that when this building was dedicated and first occupied 100 years ago in March of 1911, the house captain was a man named Isaac Zonka. Now the house captain is a man named Todd VanderWall. The Hollanders are still in charge. And I'd say you've done a pretty good job. Some were remarking as we were getting ready for the centennial that I think it really is a marvelous credit to the people who have worked here over the years that the taxpayers of Grand Rapids, when they paid the $45,000 or so to erect this building, have really gotten their money's worth. Thanks to the cleaning, the painting, the scrubbing, the rebuilding of the front of the engine house, which was due to one of the drivers who was here this morning, but we won't go into that. The various antics that have taken place in this building really are overshadowed by the fact that it's the daily routine of housekeeping and the upkeep of the building that enables something to keep going for this long. 100 years of service that a city gets out of a building like this is really incredible. And it's due to the activity and the work of the people who work here. The old station, which was halfway down the block between, and on the other side of the street between Weston and Oaks, was considered old, outdated, and outmoded when it was only 40 years old. And that's why they had to move up here to build this. There have been a lot of, I mentioned the antics in the fire department. One of the things that I noted in the display over there was that the old Seagrave squad that ran out of here for a number of years, being referred to as the White Ghost. I have fond memories of it being referred to as something else. And I would refer to the late Teddy Wigga, who after that squad was first purchased, he was stationed over at old number 6's over on Granville. And they heard an alarm come in, which included the squad, what was for 10s and 12s out somewhere off in Clyde Park. And 6's was not going on the run. Teddy had the bright idea that the squad was going to be coming by Granville Avenue. So he ran out in front with a garbage pail. And as the squad went by, he yelled and pointed and he says, "Hey, you forgot the garbage!" And Chief White was right behind him in the battalion chief's car. And came back and had a long talk with Ted right afterwards. Chief White was very sensitive about the monikers that people used to attach to various pieces of equipment and each other. The changes that have taken place in the department over 100 years are many indeed. When we came in here this morning, I couldn't help but think that 100 years ago, coming into this building, it would have smelled a lot different with all of the horses back there and everything else. But, you know, give the bean soup a little time to work and we can, you know, we'll get there. One of the things that changed, of course, within a very few years after this building was built, was that, I mean, there was no kitchen here. The guys who worked here all lived right around the engine house. Now, George Howard was born, and he's with us this morning. George is our oldest retiree, our oldest senior member. And he was only, the building was only 7 years old when George was born. George is one of, I'm going to quiet down. I think they can find Division Avenue. Anyway, the number of people who worked here, 26 people on duty when they first opened the station, but there was no kitchen because the guys all lived right around the engine house, and it was only with the introduction of the 2-platoon system in 1919 that they started cooking at the engine house, and the guys didn't go home for meals anymore. Well, that was a tremendous change. The station was built with horse stalls back there along the back wall and the brick, and it was built with the notion, still uncertain when they built the building, but with the notion that those stalls were probably rather soon going to be removed because the motorized apparatus was beginning to come into being. This chief's car is an example, although we don't think it's actually from Grand Rapids. We've never been able to trace it to as a Grand Rapids piece of equipment, but it shows us one of the earliest vehicles. And then about 25 years later, we have that 37 engine over there across the street, old engine 6. And then representing our newer equipment, some of the pieces out here that have pulled up more recently. We think of those as changes. There have been changes in the alarm system, the Gamewell system that sent people out of here for 40, 45 years, long gone. Even the way that we respond to alarms today is considerably different than back then. I remember when, you know, it was a mark of not only pride, but you had to jump onto the machine within 20 seconds after the alarm came in, or you were left behind. I mean, they took pride on getting out in a hurry, and that went back to the old days when the horses had to be hitched and everything out the door in well under half a minute because they couldn't move all that fast once they got out on the street. Today we deal with changes of a different kind. People who are coming into the department today have all been raised on computers. Everything is done by email and that kind of electronic technology. Those of us who are old enough remember how we used to come in to an engine house and go over and check the teletype to see what had happened in the last day or the last week, to see if you'd been transferred without anybody telling you. That kind of thing. Some of you remember those. So there are a lot of stories to be told, and we're glad to hear a lot of them being told this morning as we gather here. We're confident that the fire service will continue to change and evolve, and we're also confident that it will continue to be a service provided by some of the most outstanding men and women that this city has had the privilege of employing. Thank you. God bless you. I did forget to mention, though, that we have copies of a history article on the station. Those are available over on that table over there if you didn't see them. They are reprints of the article that was written for the Grand Rapids Herald in January of 1911, just prior to the opening of the station. There's plenty of them over there if you are interested.
The ceremony now for those who have served at LaGrave Station over the past 100 years, who have answered their last call here. Before I call Bill VanderWall up to offer our benediction, I would just like to let you know that we're thankful again for you coming here. There is a social time over at One Trick Pony immediately following the event here, and that goes till 3:30 with complimentary beverages as well, so we hope to see you there. I imagine with complimentary beverages, we will see you there. So, one thing I wanted to know was, I'm curious, how many people, I know most of you have served in the fire service here in Grand Rapids, but how many served here at LaGrave? Can I see a hand? Most of you. That's great. It's great to see. Okay, thanks for coming. And when you go over to One Trick Pony, please enter, I'm sorry, I gotta get Julian over here a minute, yep. Please enter in the front door off of Fulton. If you would do that, they would appreciate that. So Julian, come on up a minute.
Well, thanks everybody for coming. All right, you see, right? Well, thanks everybody for coming. I'm only up here for just just to make a small request of everybody here, especially for those that have worked here at this station. You guys, I don't know if you had a chance to go through our kitchen, but before you leave, please do. Mike Uzarski and a couple of the other guys have put in a lot of good time and effort into cleaning it up, hanging up some beautiful pictures, and getting it organized into the engine, the truck, the med unit. But for the next year, at least for the next year that I'm going to be working, because I am leaving soon. I only have one more May 21st to work. What is it today, 21st? But anyways, I'm going to request from all of you guys here a picture of yourself, either in uniform or at a fire scene or at the engine house. It doesn't matter what size you give it to me. I'm going to probably shrink it down to a 5x7, but we want to bring this engine house up to a museum quality engine house where we have pictures everywhere of all you guys here, because I mean, admit it, you guys are the foundation of this department. You guys have opened the doors up for a lot of us, and we want to honor you as we honor this building, because this building is nothing without you guys. And also, too, this next request is a big one, I know, because I've already heard it from a couple guys, but we're kind of also hoping that some of you guys that might have extra helmets and such like that, if you guys would consider donating them back to the department, we'd like to mount helmets up on a wall. We'll have your name put on it either with a paint stick, or we will find plaques to put underneath it, acknowledging your contribution and your service. And we think we can make the station, you know, kind of be a stop to visit from visiting firefighters and who knows who else. But those are just the only requests that I have, that we have as a department, and hopefully that we get some kind of response. And that's about it. Thanks a lot for showing up, guys. Really, I'm really glad I was here helping. It was a lot of fun. So that's it. Thanks.
Please join me in this closing prayer and benediction. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord grant you his peace, both now and forevermore. Amen.